Okay, Kuzambo. All right. Be kind. Episode 14. And I guess you all know who is my guest. That's Jumela. Let me invite her. Waiting for her. That's Jutoka. Oh, hi, Namgay.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good as well. Always
Should
good to
have
see you.
fresh Thomas.
Not bad. Yani effective to the
I catch my eyes. I hope it's just fresh Thomas man.
There's this effect because I didn't maybe not so that's why with this effect.
Tagay man, I filter this is tagay no. Choosum chi charm thong and you are like outdoing my face right now.
You look good. But yeah, I'm with this effect on, so
No wonder. Nga chugi effect is still dogweta.
so by the way, viewers lah, of course now to give a little bit of introduction about my guest tonight, very bold and very eloquent journalist and Jab TED as well, the executive director of Journalists Association of Bhutan. So welcome lah.
Thank you. Thank you, Tandasonam. Thanks for having me do this with you.
Yep. And the viewers that chiga interaction tama anabet ju ham chiga bedaro ito mo namge and mapa namge lo mapa ngara anebe la last be dunkarainte. But just to make it a little bit entertaining, namge I will get rid of the la last for you, okay?
Oh, please, yeah. Why do you have to say la la? It's so funny.
It's like nacha mapala that tukchi bewagana nichi did, and you deserve it, of course, la last. So
Jai.
but
Jada ke la la ste oh me peto to.
imbe mo jage mush.
Oh se. Oh.
Well, how's lockdown treating you? Kadebedu.
It's been good way. This lockdown quite long. 30 so the 40 days remember actually lockdown na jobe. I think the longest we've been in a lockdown, but it's been good. It's been peaceful. I've been working from home. It's been good. I think this lockdown was because it was better organized than last time. So it's less stressful, more organized. Around Gomi extensions the soon tobe. Yani benigi taginam se bagupchi minigi this lockdown was better yeah, than the first lockdown. De. Naragi experience be ochile.
Okay. The Kachalo, is there any specific thing that you do, like Charagi, like a pattern of Lalu? For instance, I would meditate whenever I get time. So Anizumbe, what do you do? What do you do?
Nagiti meditation, I do just a little bit, chuzumchi dibenimi, but my daily routine, like this lockdown also, I tried not to disrupt my routine. So something that a lot of people don't know about me is that I start my day with prayers. I
Wow.
do the 21 taras. Tetere time topda, there's a short nyendo that Kembo Sonam had made, I think, when Jay was
Wow.
in the East. So when I have time, but if I don't have time, I do my 21 taras. Then I do Parshilamse also. So this lockdown, I've done Parshilamse every morning for everybody. Especially my prayers have particularly been focused on Bhutan this time because of our community transmission and Subeni. So every morning, the Kamchi late Lonru, like I try and do like my prayers every morning. So that's like a routine I followed. I really managed to follow this lockdown because lockdown mitalo teteri, you get late for work, meeting itali salaptalo, then you don't get to do your prayers. So this lockdown, I've done that every day without fail. So I feel very proud about that. And I do yoga. So
Wow.
yoga chibeni.
Wow.
Yoga the every day, not every day. So I do yoga maybe alternate days, or if I walk in between ever since we had this relaxation in our zones, then it'll be maybe twice a week or something. But these are two routines that I think like really helps keep calm and is really great for mental health. I think prayers, if you're able to do prayers, that's almost like meditating a little bit also to dedicate I think it's very positive energy. So even this lockdown, I managed to do that. So that I'm really proud about.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that, Kachilo, like you said, you kicked off with the statement, many of us, 아니, ngachigi mishe semi therubare. I didn't know. Of course, I've heard so many, but
Expecting maybe all.
oh, I didn't expect. Well, but uh, it it is like, namisemi lejume way, to
Thank
know
you.
this fact that you pray and you pursue yoga and stuff. So
Mm.
viewers, please pursue praying and yoga and meditation lah. What are the benefits of it? Like, do you see significant changes in yourself? Like, like how it benefits you, yoga especially.
Yoga ki, yoga ki pyodati, it's really made me flexible over the last couple of months. It also gives me a lot of, how would I say, it's made me patient over the last 2 years. So prior to that, I didn't have um, the patience to do yoga. I used to find it really slow and really boring. But once I really, everybody, like a lot of people think that yoga is boring. I was one of them until I really got into it, and I got into hatha yoga, which is like a little more active form of yoga. And then I got into really like athletic yoga where you do inversions and all of that. So then now, like during lockdown, though, I focused more on breathing, focused more on calming myself down, and it really, any physical well-being ra duba yoga byodalu. Like for instance, I used to be really prone to tsatem
Hmm.
or like bodily aches, and I have this thyroid issue, hypothyroidism thing at mapa du mamlura dupa pum mam disulo pum da disulo. So hypothyroid is like when your thyroid is quite slow, it's sluggish, so you actually have to take medication for it. But
Okay.
yoga na chinga bemidit, it makes you gain weight very easily. It makes you very tired. So it makes a difference. Like if I don't do my the Jimmy, like you know how a lot of people like to do like this really intensive workouts where they're lifting weights and cardio is like so intense and something like that. It makes me sick. Like it has the opposite effect. So it makes me gain weight. It makes me tired. It makes me stressed out. So yoga's been great. And I'm such a fast person. Even my doctors like hypothyroidism, they usually me this what is slow, you know, but they're sluggish, and they're like, you defy that definition. So
Ah,
active and so much energy that and even the thyroid hypothyroidism problem if you say machine me believe it be messed up babe. So yoga has like physically helped me in that way. And then like there's been physical, not just mental benefits. Mental benefit, everybody knows that because of yoga you have mental benefits. But then it's really made me, I think, more physically stronger.
okay. I totally agree with you, Namge. I I don't know much about yoga, but I've been pursuing meditation for the past couple of years, and but I gather that it's almost similar, yoga and meditation. It's just that how it is like executed is a little different, but I think the root is quite similar, and so I think it boosts our immune system, which is really good. And then, like mind state wise, I think when we pursue yoga and meditation, I think we become more patient, like you said, and yeah, I think we become open and pliable, workable to Juma. What do you,
Flexible.
flexible,
In
true,
there,
very much,
in there. I'd say
very much.
flexible, Joe. I'd say patient, Joe. And actually, I'm a very impatient person. So over the last 2 years or so, I've really seen myself get more patient, slow down, and I think no matter how hardworking we are, how passionate we are about what we do in life, I think we always need to take a moment to sit with ourselves to I'd say introspect bego kacheba. Like a lot of us are always like we always measure who we are, our value, our worth, uh, by how other people perceive us about there. And we forget like we are someone to ourselves too at the end of the day. So to be able to sit with ourselves, to be able to sit with yourself, like you do that more because you're meditating, right? But yoga is like you sit with yourself, you how would I describe it? Like you actually feel your body, Meba, like the parts
Uh,
of your body that are flexible, that are not too well, where you have your aches or you don't, you get in touch with yourself. And I think that's something I've really enjoyed over the last 2 years, 2.5 years, that I've been doing yoga, that you manage to get in touch with yourself. Then, of course, I do a little bit of breathing. That is a little bit of meditation towards the end, but I just do like
Yeah.
3 to 5 minutes. Like I don't do intense meditation depending me. So then Hanibyoda also it's great. Like you breathe and then you try and visualize. I mean it's similar like you're saying now meditation Byoda, you try and do some visualization. You
Yes.
visualize positivity, good energy, and you even dedicate your yoga practice, to people.
Mm.
A lot of people don't do that, but once you've done it, you dedicate it and say, may the benefits of this exercise be for everyone, Silapebe. You make that
True.
dedication actually at the end.
True. It's as if you have telepathic some powers, because like I was about to ask you about making prayers and putting in prayers, and what is your primary objective when you do something, because like whatever that we pursue, be it meditation, yoga, whatever it is, there should be some objective but the mush, and
Mm.
you rightfully mentioned at the end that you are dedicating it to like others. So wow, so like yes, I already get this very good vibe from you, and I'm quite sure that the viewers out here are inspired more to pursue yoga and meditation and praying. And oh, Namgya, do you have a bottle of water or a glass of
I,
water
I
or?
have a cup of hot water next to
Oh,
me.
nice,
Yes.
nice. So viewers, lah,
Cheers. Cheers.
cheers, yeah. And I'm advocating good health by drinking water
It's
or
good.
trying
No, I
to.
think it's good. I think a lot of Bhutanese don't drink water in my bar, and especially in winter because it's so cold. Most people feel like "Chutumogo besela bebe." So a host of I think ill health can be kept at bay if we can drink more water, man. I remember, even our Lynchen, before he became Lynchen and he was a doctor, whenever he used to go see patients and he used to come see my grandmother also, he used to always
Mhm.
say, "Chutungombe, chutungombe,"
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time. So, and chutunde ngachi dupdusukiti, I like to drink my water like really tatombe. Then doctor that mentions that, oh, you shouldn't drink it very hot, Betty, but warm betungo slap. So I try and drink it warm water most. Even in summer, I drink warm water more than cold water. So
Okay, that's nice. And Namisabi, there are like chutumigi pain Namisabi dubamola. So viewers
mm,
ngajani na namye ni while we're conversing with each other, viewers chujemel and make it a
mm.
habit.
I think I
So
saw TP join Benutting at life coach Tundala.
oh,
He's in
oh, shout
another
out to
room.
TP. Shout
Yeah,
out
yeah,
to
he's
TP.
there. He's drinking
Yes.
water to no koge. No, it's so important. If you want your skin to glow like Tanin Sonams, please drink a lot of water. No, but it's true.
And and choose
Mo,
choose the right effect.
and choose the right filter on Instagram. No, but it's true.
Yes.
Like if people suffer from acne, host of skin issues also. Too much in the, we have to drink a lot of water. All these supermodels and celebrities are always carrying water around with them also. So then, yeah, it's good for you, water.
Yeah, and it's quite ironic that the most beneficial thing in the world is the cheapest.
Yeah,
Irony.
that's true. Yeah. Bhutan na the freebie tobet the hikes na lefa jobyo
Free.
chindi chukamchi. Yeah, you get really good water up in the mountain.
I'm sorry, I got a call. I'm sorry, Namgi.
Okay, I
I,
think. Make him, it's okay, yeah.
okay, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Of course, it's a general question.
Uh,
Uh, what is one thing that you are the proudest?
let's see.
Oh, sorry.
Kachilo, proudest?
Oh,
Keme
sorry.
proudest?
꼴찌 동이 거래 아니 달리기 미디 꼴찌
Che,
들어온
phone it up to
아니
busy mesa. Oh.
임무스 아니 가치로 what do you feel being a Bhutanese uh, proud pe degomigi attribute mombachi? Of course there are many, but if you are to point out one, what would that be for you?
Um, I had this conversation with a group of journalists and media owners in South Korea a couple of years ago, and they were from Singapore, most of them were from Singapore, one was from Australia, and we're sitting down. And I think one quality, and I think it's made possible by many factors, that Chora Buddhist Benigi, you know, all of these causes and conditions come together.
Uh,
I don't want to go in that detail, but it's
it's
like,
beautiful,
Putney's to
interdependent.
so. Ani, that interdependence betulungache, all Bhutanese, irrespective of what religion we are, which part of Bhutan we come from, we have this rootedness immensely to Bhutan. Like no matter where we are in the world, we want to come back or we want to do something for Bhutan. Like even for myself, when they were talking to me and they were like, oh, you know, I should actually apply for jobs in Singapore or even in Australia. Have I considered? And I was like, I've never really considered working outside. Like most of my life, I've lived outside and I've come back as an adult. And I've always wanted to live and work in Bhutan. So when I said that to them, then my Singaporean friends were like, they found it so difficult to relate to Meba because they don't
Mm.
have that same kind of connection to Singapore. And even my Australian friend, like one for Bhutanese nache, Bhutan ki kululu lap kulani, sentimental feeling chiyon duba. And I feel that no matter who we are as Bhutanese, like even when you travel abroad, like for me, when I travel abroad, I always have two sets of kiras with me, you know. It's not just me. Now, if you go abroad also, any Bhutanese goes abroad, ngachi kara koda kirachi bani chiti duba, that identity and that ngachi drupi salamichi. I think that feeling makes me the proudest to be Bhutanese now because I have not seen that. I have not seen that feeling expressed by any other people, no matter how many I've met, and I've met so many people in my life, that only Bhutanese seem to express this message that Bhutan na lo jogo so na ngachira ge khapi sala pe ani panyam chidu ba panyam ki ni chidu, and then they feel and we feel so proud about it. And I think that makes me that to call Bhutan home makes me really proud because of this certain factor in Agide.
Okay. Wow, well answered. Huh? Nice. I felt it. I felt it. Like it's very genuine and to the point. And okay, so let's talk a little bit of COVID-19. And I think now the dugu paroe yang tutu zo zonka job yana de halamchi yang tutu zo timpoe now tomorrow or day after naledi with the grace of Kenchi and His Majesty and
Hopefully. Oh,
job jada no jero junda karagi tumen letin the na wadana se banalo the green zone so what would you suggest people? I think we should still be vigilant. I feel that way. What's your perspective on it?
yes. You know, I can be so mean.
Green zone is
Oh,
also baby.
yes,
That
yes.
it's a must because I'm sure now the economy is crashing and of course now but
Mm.
what would you suggest the people?
Now I think Mapa, so far people have been so good. You know, be staying at home lockdown. It was a very strict lockdown, and Bhutanese really, we all followed the rules and we stayed at home. And now I have a feeling that definitely because last time zone ya area na lubebe. So we're hoping that again because all the times we've done the mass screening test area nale low motitang nale the positive thing to upper motitang nale the mathumba. So then we're hoping that this time also we test negative and we have a green zone. But that doesn't mean that we are free of COVID-19 because look at what happened. We entered this lockdown because we were careless, right? The last time after the lockdown, if we had been more careful, and it's not just about wearing masks. Like wearing masks is just one way of preventing the spread of COVID-19. Remember, social distancing because it's not it's not in our it's not in our culture, meba, to be by ourselves. Like everybody, kara chika picnic jobe, chimney kara, you know, zombo be. So ani bedalo, there's a challenge in that. But I hope that because we've been in this lockdown for so long, people will take this a little more seriously. Tangachi dup tisuge kachino so tomis lawjin ta lockdown chida isilap daluta COVID-19 ye yasi zume meba that we don't have to do drup chase bemogobe, lab chumogobe, sanitize bemogobe, takara chika zomtube say no so tam meba midisugi. So the nanichi asi gobe, and we have to be careful that we don't go out and we follow all of this COVID-19 protocol because we haven't been vaccinated. First of all, our frontliners are going to be vaccinated, and ngachigi, if we do the mass vaccination campaign, that's going to happen only in March. So ngachi vaccinate Beru, there is no guarantee that we are not going to spread the virus. We may still be carrying the virus and we could spread it. So mask Kengupti is going to be there for a very long time, and we need to make this a part of our lives. Like I know I'm taking a big break from Facebook, but I had ran that campaign on COVID yet, the first
Oh yes,
lockdown now.
yes, yes.
where people really hated me for it, but I really had to say it because I felt so strongly. I was like, "Jungam chita genbe labyo memo." Look at His Majesty the King also, and the least we can do is wear a stupid mask on our face, and that also we're not capable of doing with the disip somewhat there. So even now when I talk, I get so angry, but I'm like, okay, no, like, but people
Yoga,
have done
yoga.
so much yoga, inner peace. So,
Yeah.
but now I'm happy, like with this lockdown, I've noticed that people are more careful with their masks. So I think ngaji mapa dupte so doni di doshe beba. I think the first time ngaji why we were a little bit careless and relaxed was that we felt that COVID-19 was not in Bhutan. So, but now because we know that it is among us, so I think we're going to be a little more careful. But I want to request people, everybody who's joined us, to really practice mask wearing, to social distance as much as possible, for as long as you can. Now look at the rest of the world. And so UK nalo 100,000 people have died because of
Mm.
COVID-19. US nalo 400,000 people have died. And in Bhutan we have only one death. And then I keep talking even like TP and with my friends, and even when I write these stories for international media, like I always highlight how Bhutan, we have that spiritual energy, meba. We
Mm.
believe, like we pray. Now, for instance, look at the first case that happened in Bhutan, the Chlip up, no? When he reached Punaha Zong Bedalo, Punaha Zongiani, bridge Nalara cross Bemete. Now we say that it must have been Shabdrung, who didn't imagine. Zonginona Yasisilabaji, no? Look at the guide and the driver who were with him all those days when he was positive. And neither of them tested positive, remember. So then when you think, then this time the girl who tested positive, and then all of us had to test with the low. Okay, only somebody with a really severe underlying condition succumbed to the disease, remember. But nobody else there. Everybody's recovering, remember. Aluani, Dosum Bemidi also is not critical. Even the other people, even the older people are not in critical condition. There's more at play in Bhutan, than
True.
just medical service. It means that your prayers, it's working. There's a certain kind of protection we're being provided. Everyone says also that this is, Guru Rinpoche's land, so despite having all of my scientific knowledge, experience, my cynicism as a journalist, like I cannot deny that there is something special at work in Bhutan, and something special is protecting Bhutan, and the Bhutanese people.
True. I totally agree. And first of all, with the blessings of His Majesty the King and Jabje Rinpoche and the government, and of course the frontliners, and backed up by the cooperation of all the Bhutanese people. And like you said, of course, the unseen force, uh, you know, Guru Rinpoche, the Jabdu Rinpoche, the Jingila Labi Beyulchi Benedigi. I feel that we are in the right direction with just one. 맞아 미치잠치 셀레 데노모 델레 셰메소데 now everything is like tackled really efficiently, and henceforth too, but we shouldn't be complacent and I feel that we should be extra vigilant until the flag is hoisted permanently.
Yeah,
And
like we're free, like they declare us to be COVID-19 free. Until then, we have to be careful.
true. And Toro viewers sulu ngajo the ngajarara nebe se ju member dengilchi beimela. We're just reminding Toro lalu viewers to get oh koni ra shape zume ngacha mi shape zume se Toro nebe to some get
Oh
no.
man, ngai di shame
We're just
mask
reminding.
kulide. Ngai di
Oh
napi, you have to wear or
yeah.
sanitize your
Nani,
hands.
Nani, about that pursuit, that initiation of your mask,
Mm,
I totally second you. Why not?
mm,
Like when the government and His Majesty is putting in their utmost effort, and so citizens have been cooperating and they should cooperate, I guess, and
mm.
henceforth too collective effort never chidi the gupek don't him the mush.
It's true. It's true.
Yes, choose a dream majamaga.
맞아, ngai di satumero yume. Chidi chukem pundeme na.
No, choose a never the now. Actually, by the way, no, toto still duty na ima. Mine is from 7 8 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m. and 8
Hey.
in the hotel. Right now I'm in the hotel, and by tomorrow, day after, Teleban chimna hyodong green zone hip juji.
Okay. Test before, yes, you have to test before you go home.
Bego. We already have been tested twice, negative,
Oh,
and now chimna moju hema. All the frontliners will have to be tested.
okay. You've been, Ani, all 40 days duty na do ya che?
Yes, yes. The second lockdown as well as the first lockdown, almost 30, 40 days, and the second lockdown also, yeah, no, almost 40 days.
Okay, okay. Not bad. Thank you. Day soups. We have to thank
Uh,
all the day soups.
yes, all the subs. And Cherage, like you said, and serving is in different manifestations, I feel. And you are serving from home because, like, social media has been a very good catalyst. And then, like, you initiating that first lockdown time, na mo, or at
First
the end.
lockdown na eh. Second lockdown na di mabeo. First lockdown na
Mabeo.
di. No.
Yeah,
Second
but
pai
the
mi to
message
sa si pai second lockdown na. Te siya de ani ko.
but the
Oh.
message is put through, no, with the first initiation. So yeah, it served its purpose, and it suffices the purpose as well. So yeah, kudos.
I hope so. Tale meme chi thang ba te chue ba dan na lu Namgay Zam mondus la mi chi thang ani pa di Facebook ba dan mi
Bullshit.
sa kin na.
Yeah, yeah,
I know.
it's
I know.
it's okay. And the Nachara that she discussed Belozume, the whole point of yoga and meditation give one one best characteristic about the outcome of the result of these two initiation is there is equanimity between criticism and praises, right? It's like
Mm.
there is that when somebody is praising us, we take it, we're grateful, but we remind ourselves that you know it will be followed up by
Mm.
criticism one day or the other. So like when criticism is there, we're okay, it's okay, you're here,
Mm.
my friend, I'm okay
Mm.
with you. And then like it passes by, another praise comes.
Mm.
So I think to be okay with both praises and blames, I think is one of the best attributes
As a Buddhist, even
as
as
a
a
Buddhist,
human being. Yeah, it's
even as
following
a
the middle
human.
path.
True,
Yeah.
true.
I think for
Yes.
me, this, I've really pursued this state of being after I left BBS. That was one of the reasons I left BBS as well. I was on TV, everybody recognized me. I was on TV almost every night, so obviously people recognize me because of that. But
Okay.
also, an ego chonidoba, especially when you start really young, then you think, like you feel quite proud of your achievements and everybody knows you, this, that's a lot better. It gets to your head because everybody's always praising you, remember? So then I was thinking after 5 years in BBS, I'd really done whatever I could professionally in BBS. And I was thinking, what would be the biggest? I would say that my real journey within began at that time where I was saying, can I take this decision to quit a job that gives me so much and such a big platform? It was to confront my ego, remember?
Mm.
Like, can I be Namgay Zam without being on BBS still, baby? So then it was very difficult, I'll tell you very honestly, after I left because ani partner hip zumbe feel remember? Oh Dawagi, I know he said something like this on Facebook also where Thoba long then you want to go back to work, but you can't go back to work because you no longer have that platform, Like I gave it up voluntarily because I really felt like I have to start from scratch again, like to build myself up all over again. So then it was from there that I started that journey to recognize my ego and then to say that I'm not going to feed my ego and I'm not going to be raised by praise and I'm not going to fall because somebody criticizes me. So it was not to take myself seriously. So that was one of the main reasons why I resigned from BBS. And ever since then, it's been a very interesting journey. But I believe that as a spiritual practitioner, that this is my biggest challenge. Rogi lejum lapchi se sem ga, rogi sop
Oh,
lapchi se sem shi benidi, and
that
to not
about
be
it.
attached to any of my platforms. Like even for me, so many people were so affected when I put off my Facebook and they say, "Pa, chigina di, namasame followers do more than 1 lakh do media houses who reach mom do kache off chapter sab." Then I was like, because I have no attachment to my birthday. Now by even like Instagram bunch up Facebook bunch up so no so tiny matoma I can put it off remember because at the end of the day I know
Oh,
who I am there and what my
nice.
intention is. But it took a long time, Dhanil Sonam. So imagine I left BBS in 2014 towards the end of mid to 2015 in May. So
Mm.
2015 ne gutsudi tarikamchimo 2021, right?
Mm.
So
Yep.
it's been all these years of working on this. So then now I'm like, as long as I'm true to myself, like, it doesn't matter whether I have a certain platform, I don't have a certain platform. At the end of the day, I have to live it myself. So then, like you were saying, don't be, it shouldn't matter about either praise or
Yes.
criticism. So
True.
yeah, so
True. True. And yep, you've been a very influential person. And then like when you are out there in the mass, amongst the mass, in midst of so many people with different sorts of mindset, and it is bound to happen, not just to you, to me, to everybody actually,
Mm.
who's like a public figure. Any criticism, the blame did him up. It is part of the game, and that's why 2,500 years ago, Lord Buddha himself stated that the best practice is when we can transform this two into one. Like when our reaction is like it's very neutral towards these two inanimate entities, then I think that is the ultimate. But I'm so I'm more than delighted to gather this that you are like now. I've always found you to be very strong, and then like now to within the literature, like, transformations, this and develop. Well, it's really nice. I think you'll inspire many more.
Thank you. I don't think I've really ever spoken, like, touched this topic before, but since we were talking about spirituality and all of that, and I was like, oh, maybe I should share this part about myself. And people have this thing in my bar, like, I'm such a strong person. So I'm not. I'm not a strong person at all. Yalama, I cry so easily, you won't believe.
Oh, is
Typical
it?
there. Yeah, movie ta the paneng advertisement sentimental go. Even your song which you made for Shop also is making me feel so teary
Oh,
eyed.
is it?
Like I
Oh,
feel a lot. So people think like I'm so strong on Zumbe. My closest friends know, even like Bhutan Street Fashion, Harigi Lau, she's strong. No, this girl she can't even kill a mosquito. How strong she's going to be still up there. Eh? So people, I think there are certain things that I do that people think that I'm strong and Zumbe se no like the perception is there. But I think I'm very normal. Like it's just when I'm put in certain situations that I have to act a certain way, so I do it. But I mean, when I really started praying to the 21 Taras was during when I went through a really difficult time in
mm,
2016. And
oh,
even before I went to court, I remember I was told by somebody that time I wasn't doing the 21 Taras, and somebody told me, do your 21 Taras first thing in the morning before you go to court sila bebe. Anele good to my every morning prayer begopti,
right.
to Jemsanigi. So I found strength in prayer and the fact that there is something bigger than myself out there, to do it. So then Anale Bedi, like I think it was from there. It's only when I'm put in situation and the pressure cooker situation of the fight or flight with I have to stay and fight. I'm not somebody who can run away, remember? So that time I
Mm.
have to fight. But other times, see, I'm not a strong person at all. So that's something I want to clear out today. I'm not a strong person.
Uh, okay, well, okay, that's interesting. Well, for me, I think you are strong when you're required, I guess.
Yes,
And
I think only when I
yeah,
have no choice, then I'll be
uh,
strong.
yeah. And but yeah, I mean, like life, I feel like it struck me like an epiphany, like way, like a couple of years ago that what is this life? Like some curiosity developed within me, and my friends were like, finding it very funny. Of course, like I was asking them the same question: what is this life? And what is the whole purpose of this existence? And yeah, so like then I started looking within him ever
Mm.
until I asked that question. I was looking without, like I was going like exploring outside. You know, you are getting further and further away from home now. That
Mm.
within there is this beautiful home where it is not touched by any sort of good or bad things. It is like free of the idea of good or idea of bad. It is
Mm.
free. It doesn't touch any other things. Of course, now I'm talking very deep. Pardon me, the viewers, if you guys are bored. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to explore the true self, I think we should go within Nimeva.
Mm.
And yeah, so now me and my friends, now we're pretty good friends. Yeah. Me and my mind, I mean, we're pretty good friends.
That's good. I think if you can live with your mind, then you can live with anybody, remember? The only thing is, I haven't done retreats. And I remember Tashi Ugin Tashi Jamyang, she was telling me, if you want to be a practitioner, you have to do retreats, like
Mm.
Tamche Go Sela Bebe. I mean, have you done that? Have you done retreats?
Retreat, ane be, particular by mabe Namgay, I might sound too like cocky, or it's like as if I'm flaunting about myself. But ngani, I'm inculcating like a meditative practice in my everyday activities. Like even right now when I'm talking to you, I'm trying to be mindful of what is happening around me. Like there's this awareness with us every time. So yeah, I haven't gone on a retreat like retreat, but I try to make my daily activity everything my retreat. Well, I hope I didn't sound too cocky.
No, 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 no. It makes sense to me because when people say that to me too, I've never really gone into a retreat. But I mean, every day is like spending, like how you were saying, mindfulness, no, in everything that we
True,
do. For instance, like even when I eat like tipi, and I'm like tipi mata, phone mata. Like when you're eating, concentrate on your
true.
food, like that's
Wow,
also
you do that?
mindfulness, right?
Wow, okay, right,
No,
nice.
yeah, no, I try. I'm not as good as you. So that we have to keep reminding ourselves, like phone off, jump, like be here, like
True.
taste your food. Even
Yes,
like the Rinpoches I know, they always say, okay, mindful in the present. Like for me, even washing dishes, like I really like it because I mean, it's as if like meditative zumba jome say, it's like a calming
true,
exercise. So like
true.
when I clean my plate, I want to make sure like all of the dirt comes off and the water washing the plate and putting it in the dish rack. Like it's meditative, remember? Like how
True.
the Buddha himself used to do that walking meditation also, Padyatra,
Yeah,
that Ani. So it's like being aware, remember? I think maybe a lot of us, we don't need to, like, a lot of us feel that we have to go and meditate in the caves and all to really encounter mindfulness. But like you were saying, it's something that we can practice. Like I try and practice that in my daily life as well to try and be as mindful as possible because when we're not mindful, we can't remember where we kept our keys, we tend to forget things, right? So all of these things happen, remember. So I agree with you when you say that we can,
oh,
like, our daily lives can have meditation in it.
true. Well, having said that, anyway, retreat na ro, anyway, jusudi beroya roya, lo sumche sumda, gante retreat gim jodi
Mm,
kiwe bezuba jiti rabbe na ba.
yeah,
That would be like,
I don't think I can do it.
yeah. But
That's
since
like next
for
level.
ngacha, atsitse anyway na jitepi dolo na team digi yume solo di, what I feel is if we yalu jusubachi the best me, but yalu juma subachi
Mm,
na dedige impossible the meme ba the mush namge.
mm,
We can
mm,
do it, man. Like you said before, it's like basically meditation is to be aware of what's happening in the present moment in our day.
mm,
and
mm,
uh, and that we can do it all the time while I'm driving, while I'm eating, while I'm drinking. So, but yeah, and the mind sways and then like lingers here and there again, but we bring it back again with
mm.
whatever we are doing. So yeah, so but hey, I'm seeing a different side of you tonight. Nice.
Surprise! Different
Yes,
hidden side of me. I'm actually very
surprised indeed.
spiritual. There are these two
Wow.
books actually. I don't know if you read it or not. Chi, the Herman Hesse Siddhartha Seva.
Okay.
So there he writes this story. The Buddha also features in it, but it's about how like he's chasing to get enlightened, but then he actually gets enlightened right in the middle of everything. Remember, in all of the
Okay.
chaos, like you don't like exactly. So that's I read that book in college, and it changed my perspective on Buddhism. And I was like, oh, I can actually be a Buddhist practitioner. Like even if I can't do retreats and meditation and all of that. So Herman Hesse's Siddhartha is great. It's a small book. I recommend it to people who want to try practicing mindfulness in their daily lives and also try and look at enlightenment in a different way. And another one is this book by Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche called The Sacred Path of the Warrior. So
Okay.
something that I really liked from the book was, how there are so many of, including myself, like we are not perfect human beings. For instance, I could be really successful outside, be very kind to people outside my home. And there are many of us who are like that. And we come home and we're angry with the people at home, like without realizing it, like we fight with our siblings, we fight with our mom, or we speak angry words. But then, like Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche writes in his book that, it's not just about outside. Like, who are you when you're at home, If you are not the same person at home, then it defeats the purpose of who you are outside the home. So until I read that book, I was very Kashlonga, very always work focused, My priority was always work, about doing things outside the house, and chinagi la this one of chinagi last of and this like family function not enough time for family, not enough time for like my friends and people who are important in my life. Then after I read that book, I was thinking, oh, my life is not in balance, because like you were saying, just chasing the outside, remember, like my ambitions outside of home, while I'm thinking home nalu, things will take care of itself. So after I read that book, I realized I have to be the same person at home that I'm outside. So I had to make that change at home. So these two, I think, are
Nice. I heard everything, by the way, and I again received another call, but I heard everything. I heard
okay.
everything. Yeah.
Okay.
And but yeah, wow, it's like good conversation between you and me. Uh, okay, another call. Wow, but see, now we can practice now. We can practice patience like immediately. This call I received now, I took it as an alarm clock to practice or bring back my mindfulness. That's what I
Mm,
do. When somebody
mm,
triggers my anger or my emotions, the wrong ones, the bad ones, I immediately use it as an alarm clock to be mindful. So that way, uh, and and 나루디디 triggers amongst humans, and because you know what I'm saying, right? And
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so we become that way. If we practice sincerely, I think we become very productive and we excel me aninalu. And
Mm,
I don't say it with ego, but I think I don't get angry easily now.
mm,
Before I
that's
used to
good.
throw my tantrums, be it home
Mm,
or be it outside. But now I
mm,
think even Sangi is a little shocked that
mm.
I don't throw tantrums on her now.
You're
Hema,
getting
you said
old there.
Sangi,
The
right?
old
Yeah,
Junhi
yeah.
there.
No,
I'm
good.
teasing. No, but people say that as you get older, I think you become little, I don't know, you either have more patience or you stop dealing with people who trigger you, remember? One of the two, remember now.
Yes, but if we don't work on ourselves, same that
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
and ego did no moment. So what I've realized is it always starts with this thought: who was right and who's wrong. You
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Oh,
So so the moment we're thinking who's right and who's wrong, we remind ourselves about that. It's okay whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. Okay, even if I'm right, let the other person win. The magic words are let victory be yours and defeat be mine for the
mm.
beneficial of all sentient beings.
Or or another thing is, Ani, the book that I was talking about, Chogam Tripurumchigi, Sacred Path of the Warrior, na, is very interesting because especially when you're hurt and you feel that somebody has done you wrong, it's so easy to think that the other person is the bad person and you're the good person, remember? So then what
Mm,
Rinpoche tackles in the book is there is real there, Ani, because in Buddhism duality doesn't exist, right? So there is no
true.
good and there is no bad, remember that. So then the
Mm,
book actually puts, especially as a journalist, it's so important to think these things. And with me, like getting so angry about rape and all of these things, okay, rapists are bad people in that much, I'll say. But like in dealing in other aspects of life, is like then you are not very judgmental, remember? Because you don't think that this is a good person. Like I am a good person, Samiti Jep Mewate, because you just have to change the perspective a little bit and you become the bad person, remember? But Rinpoche writes that so well in his book. It's a word, it's called dra to se, remember? So the
mm.
term that I'm talking about is like nobody is your Jahmebate, nobody is your enemy, nobody's good, nobody's bad. So it's such a great concept. And I think reading books really helped me in the way that I think, in the way that I address, how would I say, how I deal with challenges in my life. That so that's where also empathy comes from. Remember that okay, maybe ngaragi no so tamda di ngaradi right in zumchidu, and even other people might think that I'm right, but then I have to have it within myself to see that I'm not the good person in my bate, and the other person is not the bad person. We're just two people with very different views, but that doesn't make us good or bad, Semichi. Anale, I understood from that book. So I try to apply that in my life even to this day.
Wow. So you were full of wisdom, huh, Namge?
That's
Nice one. Yes, let me touch a little bit on non-dualism as well. And yeah, that is like the heart of Buddhist teaching. to be non-dualistic about everything. And Chugi rightfully pointed, it's always judgment. What pagimi digiro kachibeiga the lejumchi bewajin the lejumchi beiselamikun zopchunguchi bedavajin amazame blow it out of proportionate. And then like I think the world would be a much happier and a better place if people were judgmental more about themselves and not about others. But I mean it in a very optimistic manner. When judgmental more about ourselves, or not in a pessimistic manner. Like if you judge yourself, okay, this tandem sana. When I judge myself, oh, Hema, 5 years ago, very egoistic, always have to win, always have to be right. So ani qualities deva Hema, that I would always have to be right and I always have to win. And basically that is like ego. So then when you judge yourself, oh, okay, so then maybe I think I should try to not be right all the time. So like if we judge ourselves, but not in a bad way, but in a good way, I think that is the best practice in about emotion.
Much rather, like you're saying, take some time with yourself. You know, Anichi rapakesang to know I have a chunguko I used to write a lot. I mean, diary janyo, but what happened in my day, you know, how I reacted to certain situations, what I thought of a certain person. But then I've stopped because I started getting so busy with my life. But I want to restart this, and I think to write down things, whether you want to write it on your phone or whether you want to write it in a diary. Like I'm just waiting for the lockdown to end because I want to go buy a very expensive because thoughts are so precious. I want to write like what I think every day because like judgment, it makes you think about yourself. When we are online, especially because we're so connected on Instagram, on Facebook, so easy for us to judge other people. Rogi pata, rogi kola kentangta, rogi no lap tangta, to say all of to criticize others. But when you sit down with your diary and then you introspect about the day, about the people you've met, how you reacted to the situation, I think it's really, this is completely doable. If we can do it every day, we don't even have to have perfect Zonghao or English to do this, right? However we want, whether correct spelling or not, also it doesn't matter. But just to sit down with our thoughts and then think about it. And I think it makes you kinder, when you do this. Like it makes you see the other person's point of view better. So then now, even if I'm not writing right now in lockdown, because this is an idea I got in lockdown, thinking when lockdown ends, I want to write, I want to journal my emotions, my thoughts, and my day into a diary. So I feel like when you do that, you take stock of where you went wrong, where you can find grace, and how better to judge other people less than so this is my 2021 resolution.
Okay, all right, nice. What resolution do I have? I think I will the perfect analogy would be space, and I'll try to. My resolution would be I'll try to enhance the qualities that the space have. I'll try to adapt it in me. Well, what I'm trying to say is I think I'll try to be as open as possible. And for instance, like if we can be open about everything, I feel that then I don't know how to put it into words. And then like so that's why I don't want to put it into words. And but what I'm trying to say is like I'll try to be open about everything. I'll not try to cling on like 1 hour ago, and I'll not try to think about what's going to happen 1 hour after. But within this 1 hour that I'm residing in, I will try to pursue kindness. I'll try to not be rude to others. I'll try to, I'll try to have more empathy, I guess.
To be present in the moment, yeah.
To be present in them. Are you present in the moment right now, Namgay?
Yes, I am. You think I'm not? I am like listening, active listening.
No, I'm talking about the awareness, the mindfulness.
And yeah, like for instance, I'm like completely here right now with the Instagram live, with you, listening to you. Like, I'm not thinking about, like, for instance, it's like I've really tuned out any external sounds or whatever. I'm only hearing your voice and like what's happening here, chamchi meba. But sometimes when you know, like when you have these long Zoom meetings and all of that, depend 2 hours and you all up in mindume awareness. My mind is like everywhere except in the meeting. So I think we're only human when we do that. So it's okay
Yeah,
to
yeah,
not
true.
be aware
All the time,
sometimes.
yes, yes. And
Oh,
yeah, we are like we humans are always in autopilot mode, and
mm,
I totally understand. And same man, but thante chedero show me, but show daro toro kup,
mm,
and well, I think that what is practicing all about, I guess.
mm,
And okay, now let me ask you another question.
mm.
Now the program ki ming di be kind se belova, and different people have different interpretation. Like to be kind. Tricky the interpretation Gachimo, your perspective on being kind.
Um, my perspective on being kind is to try and make life easier for someone else without expecting anything in return. For me,
Wow.
kindness is unconditional. Like you don't do it. You don't do it because you expect something in return. You don't do it because you know the person. Like for instance, a lot of causes I've taken up in the past, a lot of critical things that I've written have been in support of people I don't know at all. I would never do it for somebody I know. That's the funny part. Like it's I would rather somebody else do it. Like you would never see me do as much for myself or my family or for people I know. And everybody in my circle will agree to that. But I will very happily criticize people in my family, in my circles, if I think that something is wrong without hesitation. But I really think that being kind is making life easier for someone else without expecting anything in return.
Wow, that's deep. Uh, okay. TP is he spiritual? Is he religious?
Yeah, I think Tipi is very religious. Tipi is
Oh yeah.
more than me. Like, I'm more spiritual. Tipi is very kind-hearted, very religious. So we really click because we like, whenever we go to monasteries or if we go pilgrimage, like we get impacted by that energy, meba. And then he's so expressive about it also. So that's something I really like about him. And he really encourages me to, he doesn't pray as much as me though, even though he believes in all of these things, but he's very encouraging. So he's quite religious actually, Tipi.
Okay, all right, nice. Okay, and I met him a couple of times. It's always like
Yeah.
dongai ta katoto chimero,
Yeah,
and
he's a very nice. Yeah, he's such a big fan of you. So, pa do Sanjay number 1 fan te khode.
oh, I know a TP. Let's hang out sometime. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh.
Namgay lau met tam turung long. Gyobe at TP at we met him like the last time we met. I still remember it was a express car wash ki maluim zumchi. I met him, and
Eh, okay. Oh.
yeah, we said hi to each other. And yeah, he gives me a good vibe, like you
Yeah,
give
he
me a
has.
good vibe. So
Thank you. Yeah, he's a really nice human being. He's a very kind. Two of us are like that, very empathetic. He also likes to go out of his way to help strangers and people he doesn't know, especially old people. So that was one of the things that I really liked about him. Also, I remember the first time we were dating. I brought him Hershey's Kisses, but chocolates, like a whole like plastic bag, and I was like, oh, like such a special gift and this and that. And this guy didn't eat it. And the next time we went to Dichapul Hagang together. He had brought like amchiba Hershey's Kisses ki korachi masa. Then I was like, oh, you didn't eat it? And he's like, no. Then when you're coming down, he saw all these little kids, Dichipugi. So I think some of them were like road workers. So I was like, why is such a nice guy? I didn't expect, but he's like that. He's very kind-hearted and he likes to give a lot. So he's a good human being and he makes me a good human being also.
okay, yeah, nice, nice, and all right. So yeah, Namgay, anything you want to talk about, you can pour it out. We can converse. We can just go with the flow. Totokos like ngagi no mitsungal halam lapchiba. If you
Oh.
want to talk about anything, chu katula mun ngile toro question do you chinich.
No, I think I don't know. We talked quite a bit. I didn't expect that we'd be talking so much about spirituality and all of that. I didn't know like
Even me, I didn't
COVID-19
expect
and
it.
yeah, this is like unexpected. I think both of us didn't expect that both of us would be talking about and dwelling on spirituality so much. But yeah, I don't think it has something to do with age either. Like a lot of people think that one of my friends' mothers also actually said, tayo na bagi alu sunam se ani kashnanga senam du se mabate, because in the older days people would have to get old to go and do nine, like to go to the lagangs to join retreats. But if you look around you, more and more young people are going to monasteries, more and more young people want to pray. So I think there's something different that's happening now with the younger generation. And I think it's a good thing because it just means that our collective merit is going to increase. We're going to leave this place a better place for everybody else who's going to come after us. So I hope that more and more, and I don't think you have to be like a Buddhist practitioner or you have to be a strict Hindu or like a strict Christian. I think kindness itself is a religion. Compassion itself is a religion. And I think if we were to reach out and help each other, I mean, look at all the Bhutanese who feel so bad when they subs. I mean, they're just outside my house, but you're not allowed to go and give anything to the day subs because things are not so safe. Like the first few nights, we used to make tea and I used to boil eggs and send for the day soups and all of that because I used to feel so bad. Around midnight, I used to make TP go and give. But then later they told us that they can't accept anything from us. But it's not just me who was affected by it. Like so many Bhutanese get affected when they see somebody else suffering in Myanmar, irrespective of what our religion may be or from where we are in Bhutan. And I think that makes us so good as people. And I hope that we can continue to feel that way, to not become apathetic, to continue to be hurt by others' pain, to be made happy by others' joy. I think that's something like I would ask everybody who joined in to continue doing. It's something I've seen over the last 1 year, and I hope that we can really continue to be this way in the future as well. And I think it just means good things for Bhutan and the world as a whole if all of us can continue being this way.
True, true. And talking about Desups and other frontliners and all the government key officials and 아니 ngada ngicharo dakbaji who are public figures, and then like social media na city we are quite active, and then like credit to atira ngajalu yayuma ba. But I want to clarify this: 90% of other desubs and frontliners, they are putting in so much effort and so much hard work, and they're doing it very silent. And I want to give a very genuine shout out to all my frontliners and other government officials, everybody, health officials, all that, they are doing 10 times more than what I am doing as a desub. But they're doing it in a very silent manner, since Kongi, but me, by default, by profession, I'll have to be active on social media. And I remember Tachi and Desup Saudalu, there are Desup teachers, there are Desup engineers, doctors. Now me, as a private lawyer, I cannot do anything, to be honest, right now, in the midst of this pandemic. But as an actor, I have few followers. But ani ati followers in the social media na active better be. So atira the ngacha desup so the ngacha pa tetera ne betem beodalu credit that ngachalo jume. So I want to clarify that I am not doing even half as much as what other frontliners and other desups are doing. So to all the other silent desups and frontliners, health officials, my genuine respect lah.
Namaste Karinchela, definitely.
Yes. And by
Thank
the way, we
you.
spoke for quite some time. It's already 1 hour or 1 minute
Oh,
as
really? I thought we had
yeah,
only like 1 hour, so it can go longer than 1 hour in there. I know.
we can. And I'm
Ayo.
I'm quite fresh on Instagram, and Tachi I inboxed you, no? Well, let me call you on Celeb Baby. Then you schooled me saying that we cannot call on Instagram Celeb. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get her gadget digit, and then like I called you on your phone.
He's
Yeah.
saying, mito pa te ani IG na lo video call tandis mito be. So WhatsApp na lo te call to be. Yeah.
Well, but But now I'm very active on Instagram and Facebook, and I feel that
Mm.
it is in the hands of the user, and then like it can be used as a good catalyst. What do you feel?
Yeah.
If we, for instance, you have a lot of followers, a lot and tons of followers, and churgi that kachilo use bemidi charabe charagi intentions the right to objective din tele you know it's a bit sounds like you're watching. I think it's okay memena. I think and it's a plus point to have social media gi any presence in memena mo.
It's true because social media, like look at how our messages spread. Especially even in this pandemic, we've seen that social media plays such a big role in keeping people informed. I mean, of course, there are people misinforming people also, but then the good outweighs the bad, remember? In this case, it's also in your hands how you want to use social media, whether you want to do it for a good cause, whether you want to do it for a bad cause, or whether you're just there to connect with friends. Ani, like you were saying, intention dikha cheba. Like, why are you there? What are you using social media for? What kind of messages are you putting out? If your intention is good, that's okay. But I think many of us don't have the right intention, remember? I'm not saying good intention or bad intention now. So I'm saying right intention. What is your right intention? So I think a lot of us need to question our intentions and see why are we posting certain things, blah, blah, blah. Like for me, I don't like to post stuff that I own or stuff that I buy because it makes people like even I myself like certain famous people that I follow on social media like when you see them going on like holidays and buying certain things, living in like these really wonderful hotels and flying like first class. Mapulara, because you're human, you feel like wow, like maybe I want to aspire to something like that. I don't think that's the right aspiration. Like for me personally, so you will never see me post like bags that I own or stuff that I buy. Now, this is a personal thing. I'm not judging anybody who does this, but I just feel that it creates unnecessary desire in people in Maba, and I don't think it's healthy to try and promote this like because mapulara ngagi ani beda which like even creams and all I feel awkward to post even though I use because then they'd be like Namgay Zam yani use bede ngai use be go best lap be mapulara oni chi to ba rangi like especially if it's people you like and people you follow. So I don't want that to I feel like I will accumulate bad karma because I do that. And, like there's people who will desire that and want to acquire that, and they may not be in a position to, and you never know what means or what kinds of mental issues that they will go through to get that. So I try and not like unless I'm supporting local businesses. Now that's the intention. Now when I talk about right intention, so there's like these little local businesses that I will buy from. So then I may support them. Like I will put stuff there and say, oh, please go and buy from these people or whatever. So then it's not just ngaragi nyo bitsutsu, but when I post something like that, it benefits somebody else. So then that's how when I have to commercialize my post, then I think, oh, okay, at least it's benefiting somebody, not me. Like somebody else is being benefited, then I will share. But then that's something I do on social media. Like my Facebook page, that you will never see me do anything commercial. But on my Instagram, you'll see me every now and then tagging certain local shops or local entrepreneurs just to support their local businesses, especially in this
Okay.
pandemic also. So that I will do. Like the intention is there, but I will never show off like things I own or places I go to without me thinking I can share some kind of knowledge or some kind of experience that is positive with my followers.
Okay. Wow, that was quite brutal.
No, not like judging it, but it's just something I've started doing
Yeah, yeah.
over the last
Okay.
2 years, I think. Yeah, consciously, like making a conscious effort.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, yes. And for me, but for me, I feel that I totally respect what you're saying. And for me, if somebody is like, for instance, lalu dubu that anebe lalu gimdero dibe social media na ru mapap chichap gano ru poko chishop gano phage
Mm.
lami de nga kadebe pha mopik tam daka kopik tam daka semi certain number of individuals on social media duba. So ani sulu de ngagi particularly ani sulu ngagi the self chipiwa if I put in a prayer for them, if I put in a request to all these people, I would say ani ben tobra mitobes no me where
Mm.
the whole purpose of their life is to demean somebody's umbe dubalalu. So ani sulu de on social media kongi dele then social media becomes like a knife, You know, this knife, the chef legend chi lava chuba chi the pizza bit chim this is you know, pizza bit. But then like anime this the murder bioma, social media they're like slaughtering people's lives. So those people, please don't do that. I think social media is a place of love and kindness and where you advocate good things. And so if you're doing it, if you're watching it, if there is one viewer who does that, and I think there is one,
Really?
please
Gati
don't
comments
do that.
matawara de me. Gati comments matawara de.
No, Namge. No, not that comment. Just I'm trying to use this statement as a metaphor, and then
Okay.
like, a message no
Oh.
baby.
Oh.
Well, but
In
yeah,
there.
let us all spread happiness and kindness, man. Namge.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what.
true. You only have one life there. If you're going to die tomorrow, I don't know if you're going to feel very proud about having brought somebody down, you know. I would not be proud of that. Like I'd be,
True.
if you were to die today, like in the next 1 hour, you know, and you were to look back at your life and you'd be like, ngam chi fake accounts create be Facebook, the Instagram, no la, you know, like I doubt that is something you want to remember when you're going to die. So I think mortality is something you have to dwell upon and then think, what if I died today? You know, what would I be proud of? And I think let that be what guides you and what you do, who you are on social media. Like for me, I'm like this in real life. I always tell TP also. TP and I have this conversation on life and death. And TP, I tell TP, you know, like if I were to die today, I have no regrets. Like I would die knowing full well that I've lived my life exactly how I want to, and there would be no regret. And he gets so amazed. But I was like, I've practiced that for such a long time that seriously, like even when I'm flying and all of that, I think, eh, tanam to do like, you know, am I ready to go still up the low? I'm ready to go, man. Like it's I don't feel that, you know, like oh, I have so much more to do. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. I regret being horrible to that person because I have never been horrible to a person by choice or by intent or consciously. Maybe unconsciously, maybe some people may have misjudged my intent that I can't be responsible for. So I think when you feed yourself, like, I think this is, I wouldn't say that I've achieved the art of non-attachment, but I think I have somewhat being able to realize very early on life to not be attached with my life and to be happy with whatever I do on a daily basis, and then that I'm ready to go, Semichi. And I would ask my everybody also to try and live that way. And I've worked on that for such a long time. And I think to be able to occupy such a space where even if you were to die today, you could go happily without regret and without harboring ill intent towards anyone is really a great way to be, Sanoma.
Nice. Well said. And by the way, shout out to the sisters lah. Malu tachi support ngacha namge choda ngalu supporting his sisters dakchi below. So thank you, the
Also
sisters.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah, from the both of us. And well, shata jimesa we gaide shoda lola bi.
What should dinner say? Duty baby, what should dinner say? Masare machi. Not the same.
Dachi. Well, yeah.
Miss
Yeah,
Abe.
yeah. Ngai dachi chutu din de chile ati light chi za jai.
Okay. I think you should go and have dinner, man. I feel bad. Go to your frontline and the frontline number and you
Saudi.
if you haven't eaten your meal.
Saudi dachile zabe telanga tarnaba. I'm keeping my dinners light because like when I'm meditating, I feel that I'm consuming more than what my body is demanding, and then like any lethargy or message. Dito jamni masu jung man is there. Nyam tawang so ani mendegi ati chita cut down bay. Oh, by the way, are you vegetarian? You're not,
Yes,
or
I'm
you are?
vegetarian. This is my 20th year as a vegetarian.
20.
Yeah, 20.
Oh my God. What's in
I've
my
been
wow, you're my senior medis. I always go around bragging about my vegetarianism like 16 years now. You beat me 20 years.
Gajini
Wow.
ani old Hakitolma, even the MP Hakitolma. I think she's
Oh,
how many years? 30 something years? Old Hakitolma, yeah, vegetarian there. She was vegetarian even
yeah.
throughout her pregnancy. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
So she's
Nice
like
way.
next level. Then Mogi Tale Sir Poop Wang say he has this Poop Wang blog spot. He writes all these religious
Oh
blogs.
yes, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I've come across it.
he's vegan. Mein. I think he's to 40 something years jojo vegetarian. Mein.
And he's
Khodiro
vegan.
Tatsi Sanimi, yeah, he doesn't eat also. And you don't know many people in his age group, who's like vegan, but he is like he doesn't eat like Britannia, give processed cheese and all of that also. So he's quite inspiring as Krishnanga as a vegetarian. But yeah, I've been vegetarian for a very long time. Chunku cholera actually. I wasn't my auntie used to tell me that when I was younger, adu chunku viduptalu they used to and shaggy tim, like I used to always push the sha aside and then like I'll have the sabji that's there with like but I wouldn't eat the meats and stuff. So it's very easy for me to become vegetarian because I don't like meat.
Oh wow, nice way, nice. And I think that's why we're very compatible. Like we click onto each other's and somehow,
Vegetarianism and
yeah,
oh
vegetarianism. But, well, lots of I've been promoting vegetarianism for quite some time now, and in my movies, I always try to make a point that I read and promote vegetarianism. But having said that, since Article 7 of Constitution of Bhutan is fundamental rights,
mm,
I don't make it like please go vegetarian if not, I never
yeah
put it out there.
yeah
It's individual's choice, and I respect even Rokhoragi whether to be vegetarian or not. I respect their choice,
exactly.
and Khorai lava jago mo, but we can put it out there in Lava. So I've been
As an
putting it out there
option
for
that
quite
you
some
can be
time.
veg. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the idea of the angry vegetarian. Like, look at us. Like, just imagine if people, you know how irritated we get when people come and say, "Hey, chicken chisada keme," no, or like, eat something. Like, it's the same thing as us vegetarians going and telling them, "Oh, don't eat meat." It's irritating, like for both sides. So I
Yes,
think, yeah, as an
the whole
option,
purpose
like,
is defeated, I guess, if we are like
yeah,
stubborn about our pursuit. And I totally agree with you.
mm,
Rokhoragi choice na mush, but
honestly,
Panebe platform na dikede de shabi. Tale
yeah, of course. Oh.
ko ko alu chushi changa chigara message waisa that they are running with the vegetarian isala baby, and I was like so happy, but I told them please substitute with proper diet, otherwise che pamjing alu thamsu theung salabji.
So we can get anemic imeba because our diet is in such a way that everything is overcooked. All of our vegetables are also overcooked. Only recently, I think we've made a conscious effort to try and not overcook our vegetables so that we get all the nutrients. Tigitalu, ngaji shinde namsa sanimindu. Tore shinde namsa sanimindu. Our fruits are not cheap there. Our fruits are very expensive. Not many
Right.
Bhutanese can
Yes.
afford to eat fruits on a daily basis like everybody. It's just a handful of Bhutanese who can afford to buy fruits. I mean, you just buy your most basic necessities, remember? So then, like, even if you're a vegetarian, make sure you get all your nutrients and do your blood test maybe once a year if you start feeling weak, all of that, just to rule out anemia. But as long
Mm.
as you don't overcook your vegetables, you eat hense, like sag, and the green leafy vegetables are your best sources of protein. Like, spinach and lettuce have more protein than meat if you eat like a certain amount of grams in a day, which you can find online how you want to eat. So, we're good. If you're going to eat like coca because you're vegetarian coca for breakfast, vegetarian coca for lunch and dinner, actually now like you get sick with your vegetarian diet. But make sure you get a lot of greens. Like that's one of the best ways to stay healthy as a vegetarian.
Okay, nice. And Namgay, okay. By the way, I'm maybe in a couple of weeks or maybe like after 1 2 months, I'm planning on coming up with a documentary where it's about smoking. It's about cigarettes, and the title Mingra. I'm thinking of Enemy in Disguise.
Mm.
And well, I don't want to put it out there in a very aggressive manner, but it's just perspective and your own interpretation. So I was thinking that nebe lalu smoke baby lokechi ya baby lalu januba smoke baby 20 25 years tangu tungu lok januba. So I want to interview these people where they have quit smoking, and then like I want to inspire others to try to quit. Oh, again now I'm sounding too like chichi namisimi nebe dictate whether some but I'm not, since
Mm.
angani guru rinpoche da shabdu rinpoche namisimi so tuni
Mm.
that tam khudide ngacha viewers jemere yobachin that majeva jusobachi lejume me as a junebe so documentary. Again like I sound a little extreme, but what to do, like I
Well,
said,
I
I
always
want to
telling
put it
people
out
to quit smoking, and it's not just I mean, not you just don't have to be religious, but really, when there's a disease that affects your lungs, like COVID-19, I think the last thing you want to do is compromise your health by smoking and then depriving your lungs of oxygen, because that's what COVID-19 does. You find it very difficult to breathe, and I don't think anybody should willingly compromise. I mean, of course, there are some people who can't live without smoking, but me personally, I'm completely against smoking, and I don't encourage it among my younger friends also. And I think it's a really dirty habit. I have no, I mean, me, you know, like whether it's not that it's saruk, I don't care. That's how I feel about smoking.
Wow,
So
yes,
if you
I get.
if you can stop smoking, that's really good, because that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Like, nadi gari na lu, like I have a gym and so nobody's allowed to smoke in the car. So when they come
Wow.
out, like, if there are friends who smoke also. And when I was living in the US, so in Arizona, you're not allowed to smoke publicly, so you would never see people smoking. And it has an impact on the younger people, remember? When younger people don't see older people smoking, they don't smoke. They don't pick up the habit. So even done now, before the tobacco ban, a lot of people would smoke everywhere. It was such a normal thing to see people smoking. So even younger people would pick up the habit, remember? Now, if you don't see people smoking, you don't grow up seeing people smoking, it becomes something abnormal, remember? It's not something that's normal, you know, when you smoke. And then I would really want to see us breathing clean air. If you want to smoke, go and smoke in some of the smaller spaces that are available to you, but let the rest of us breathe fresh air. So I don't like people going to prison because of smuggling of tobacco. That's a completely different thing altogether. But just as a habit, as a lifestyle habit, it's not good for your health. So I would never recommend it or promote it or encourage it in my friends. And one of my closest friends, actually, Bhutan Street Fashion, he wanted to quit smoking for so long. He had such a tough time. Is such a chain smoker. I was such a passive smoker because of him. He'd always be with me, but I think now it's 2 years since he quit smoking, and he has such good advice on how to do it. And I think he's one person you should interview as well. And so I'm like, I can talk to him.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know how they tell you, oh, you have to use nicotine patches, you have to watch these videos, you will experience this and all of that. But then, bro, he did it very differently. He did not look at any of that. He was saying all of these nicotine patches and substitute things for you to that will help you quit smoking is really to keep you hooked, but still. So he has a very interesting perspective on this. So yeah, you should get to him as well.
I need to get in touch with him. Yes, thank you. And our thoughts are like, and I think we agree on so many things, and even the viewers lah, and even if we can like at least chilo penroy more, because smoking there are rational as well as irrational reasoning why to quit or why not to start. First of all, viewers la they tangku anebe majeba yubachin la, and somehow when nga charo di tumdaru jigdash thomesa tungobe semi yubachim jera madala tangkudi. So the viewers na bede beru dal, and even amongst your friends and families, please spread this message, because bad habits are like comfortable beds in easy to jump into, but so difficult to get out of it.
Yeah.
And first thing that the gura matsubachi best so especially the youth, please don't smoke. Tanku matung chutungla, and you know, those who are tanku tungdera yumisulu bewachin, like Namgay says, please try to quit la, because we have like scientifically wrong member, not just religious member. Religion of course, like it's written, you know, that mabale matupe, but religion scientifically, like our body is host to like millions of microorganisms in our, and when we take a puffin, like you're killing thousands of microorganisms, and then like if we kill thousands, there is accumulation of bad merit in our, and when there is accumulation of bad merit, then like bad things happen to you, like and lalam de jumete kachira beroe pshijuchira jo. Why? It's all karmic karmic connection. So please try to quit la, of course, but it is your own choice. That last night the chera tha viewers too, but try to quit, like Namgay says, and I am also like putting it out there.
And if you want good skin, stop smoking. Like if you want your skin to glow, don't spend so much money on Korean creams and all of that. Just quit smoking. No, I'm serious. Like smoking makes the skin a little bit yellow and dry, and you don't have that glow. So if you want good glowing skin, then one of the first things you want to do is quit smoking also.
True, Namgay. Well, Namgay, Now almost like it's 1 hour 30 minutes a day. So like if you have any kachlo, uh, last words for our viewers right now, yeah, please take it away.
I think something I want to share with viewers, like you were saying, like I don't like to put stuff on my Instagram that sounds like I'm lecturing people, remember, but something, I mean, there are so many people. I mean, it's great. Like there's been more than 300 people with us, like throughout, like this 1.5 hours that we were talking.
Yes.
Um, don't ever apologize for who you are. Uh, it doesn't matter if people like you or don't like you on social media. As long as you remain true to yourself and who you are, I think that's the best thing you can do in this world where everybody's trying to ask you to be somebody else. So no matter how hard, like at the end of the day, you just be true to yourself. Like this is something I tell myself every day, no matter what pressure it is. Like people will be like, can you be kinder? Can you mind your own business? Whatever, all of these 100 things that come my way, or people say such good things. No, like at the end of the day, you talk to yourself and ask yourself, who am I? What do I want to do? And have I done that? And I think as long as you're accountable to yourself, that's the best thing you can be. So no matter, that's the only thing I want to share.
Thank you so much, Namge. And I'm more than delighted to have you as our guest. And I'm sure the viewers thoroughly enjoyed it. And before you bid us temporary farewell, I need to bid you a last and be kind now. You, me, since you already pray, you know the drill. And viewers, yalla, ngada Namge chika, door to sim tam chiki dele for all the sentient beings in 6 realms. Let's pray for them for 10 seconds. Okay, Namge?
Okay.
Okay. Wow, that was like, it feels good more. Like, when there's that energy of collective praying memo, I always feel it when I do this at the end of the show.
I agree. I agree. This is why it's so nice to go to the monasteries and pray together in a group and have these group prayers as well. Like there's really nice energy. We do it. I go for this monthly Tara practice to
Mm.
Kabisa at this monastery, but we do it online these days. So we try and do it once a month, and 2.5 hours, 2 hours, keep praying. But it's so good. Like it's really nice to do this prayers together. And I would encourage many people, if interested, to join these prayer sessions and all. It's just great. Like the collective prayer thing is really good energy.
Thank you once again. Like, Namis Sami, my genuine gratitudes, Namge, and we'll do it. Chubara Toros on other platforms. Topka, when you are free, I'll get in touch with you on your gadget. And
Okay.
once again, my regards to TP.
Yeah,
Topka.
sure, sure. Okay. Take care of yourself. Stay safe and
Okay,
test
Namge.
negative and
Yeah,
get
yeah, sure.
vaccinated.
All right. Guru
Yeah, yeah.
Bajikana.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having
All
me.
right.
Bye.
All right. Okay, that was Namge and Namisami Lulabda Katoto Yasila. And viewers here, you have been with us throughout. Wow. And thank you for Kachilo staying with us and virtually and interact baby. I'm sure that productive things will come out of it. And I wish you guys all the happiness, love viewers. Thank you for always constantly and frequently supporting me and uh, Jimmy, much frontliners gara. The namzami kadiche. The now comments lejum le asha dijano the gara lu lenja masu tuize vajina. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And sum sem kala jema zola. Mewanga darimoche, chabjere moche, kyunchasum.